Hi guys, Helen the Russian here, and this is just my quick 2 cents regarding something that Uber CEO said recently. Kevin, the entrepreneur, made a really good live stream video about it. He was on live talking, and I fully agree with him. I just wanted to throw my opinion. So Derek Kay, who is the current CEO of Uber, apparently in an interview made a big point of saying, encouraging passengers to tip. In fact, he gave himself as an example and he said, oh, I have a really high rating and that's because I'm a very aggressive tipper. That's the wording he used. And so basically he said, well, you should tip and whatnot. Now, while at no point I disagree with Derek, good on him. I really support the message. That's fantastic. However, what does it tell us? Like realistically, we're all grown-ups. Yeah, there's gonna be no rate increase, at least on Uber. That's quite clear, because he wouldn't be putting that message out if they were planning to give drivers a rate increase. So just deal with the fact that we're gonna get paid what we're getting paid now, and we're basically at the mercy of the passengers to give us more tips or less tips, or give us any tips for that matter. Because as you're well aware, oftentimes the passengers are fantastic, the ride is great, there is great chemistry, they thank you profusely, they tell you how they love you and you were the best driver, and then they don't tip. That happens all the time. So, it's just one of those things. I honestly thought it was a bit cheeky of Dara to kind of put the onus for drivers' well-being, because we would do it for money. So for drivers' well-being on the consumer. He represents the company, he represents the platform, and while I certainly never want to be an employee and I'm happy with the status, I wouldn't mind getting paid a little more. Speaking of which, today was actually interesting. I went driving for about 3 hours. Yeah, just like 3 hours, maybe 10 minutes I was driving. And it so happens, it happened for the first time when both apps gave me an exact even amount of rides, meaning I could compare. So I got 5 Uber rides. There was a point of time, obviously it went up from that, but at one point of time, and I remember I left the house at 11, and then what that point of time I'm talking about occurred was 1:49 p.m. so 10 minutes to 2. I had 5 Uber rides and 5 Lyft rides, and I can tell you neither one had a whole bunch of longer rides. They were all short rides all around the Strip airport, so pretty comparable. And so my total on Uber was $21.39, and my total on Lyft was $28.17, I think, significantly higher. So especially when you consider what the total take for the day was, yeah, it's $7. Yeah, $7 actually makes a difference when you're only talking about $50 total, just about. So I thought that was curious and interesting, but it's neither here nor there, because as we all know, so far it's been a bit patchy and unpredictable. I had days when Lyft definitely kicked Uber's butt as far as the number of rides and the length of rides, and then I had days when Lyft hardly gave me any rides at all, like maybe 1 or some days 0. So it's kind of, I'm thinking that Lyft is definitely catching up. Remember that $1 billion that Google invested into Lyft about 3 months ago? I think it's starting to pay off. And while I'm on the subject, before I forgot, I keep forgetting to mention that I'm sure most of you Las Vegas drivers already figured it out. But if any new drivers or aspiring drivers are watching, be careful with Uber navigation. It seems they haven't been updating it, or they're missing something. When you find yourself in area just before downtown, so I'm talking the area between Stratosphere and downtown, when you get into Main Street, Commerce Street, what I call geography streets like Utah, Wyoming and whatnot, Uber persistently urging you to turn left when you're traveling, say Wyoming. So you're going from Stratosphere to downtown, you're taking that nice shortcut to avoid the freeway, to avoid all the traffic. So you traveling on Wyoming going east. Uber navigation is gonna tell you to turn left on Commerce. Do not do that. Commerce is one-way street now. It's been for a few months, and it's honestly, I think it's very dangerous because especially at night, Commerce is not that busy. So if you follow that navigation and turn, you can have head-on collision with an upcoming car. So what you need to do, you just ignore completely that navigation, go to the next street, which is Main. And Main is one way going the other way. So that's the street you need to go to. And that's actually, that route is the shortest way to get to the north outlets, even in the daytime. If you go from anywhere like Encore, Wynn, Circus, Stratosphere, it's the best way to do it. Now that they're doing massive road work on the freeway, you know, on Spaghetti Bowl, and now they're closing the lanes between Spring Mountain and Sahara, freeway is no longer a good option. It gets bottlenecked around that area all the time. So better to go those streets in the back, you know, usually, oh gosh, I forget the name of that street, just behind the Stratosphere, and it'll, or you even, like from Circus, you can take Industrial, and then turn on Wyoming, and then turn on Main, and if you're going to the outlets, turn east on Charleston, and then to Grand Central Parkway, and it'll take you straight to the outlets. Or go on and you can use 4th Street to get downtown. So this way you avoid the strip, avoid the freeway, and avoid most of the traffic. But once again, please don't listen, just make a note of it, don't listen to that navigation. Don't turn north on Commerce Street, it's one-way street going south. Alright, hopefully everyone's staying safe. Take care, guys.